Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. We continued to play afterwards. Um, I don't think I've ever stated this, but we play because we want to play, and we record because I want to record. The other players put up with my bullshit. If anyone had ever said, Eric, I don't feel comfortable recording, then we wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, we had technical difficulties. My audio stopped working. No one could hear me. And I think then no one could hear anyone else. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's been a couple weeks, actually. We've actually played a couple times since then, and I haven't put them up yet. But yeah, preamble done. I should tell you what happened. Oscar looked for Vanessa using the objects that he was given, like knows what to look for, and finds her in the Yarick ion cloud in Sauri Prime. Now, this ion cloud is often used for smuggling. I don't remember if we already talked with Margie Mencher, but if that didn't come up, Vincent used his connections to talk with Margie, who I think was in episode 1 and hasn't shown up again since. Anyway, it's a smuggler's route because there's so many ways out. It's so large that you can't cover it, and you can't detect anything in it outside of a very small range. Like sensors are almost completely useless. But anyway, they go into the cloud, and I described drums. Not because they actually were there, but because, it's tense and we like to make it a little cinematic. I've seen other GMs talk about the soundtrack of the television show or movie that this game represents. And yeah, they see this arthropod ship. Kind of like the Geth, but obviously not, because the Geth are copyright, and I don't want to infringe on that. And because I do want to be original in my own right. But, that's a good, creepy, kind of alien way to design your ship compared to how humans do it. Yeah, Oscar leads them to one ship. It's all alone, but it's a capital ship. It's just as big as the Stellar Bagels, just as well outfitted. Mirko thinks Mirko thinks that Vanessa, Vincent's sister, might be Kralis. They are saving her from the Kralis, supposedly. And then Vincent points out, she's Jewish, she's allergic to shellfish. He makes the lobster, and he said latka, lobster, same word, which I don't get. I forget who, I think Mirko said latka, lobster, they're the same word. But it made no sense. It was just a weird exchange that I wanted to make sure got out there. Mirko's a dumbass. Vincent is Jewish. That's all it pointed out. They suggest making a Facebook account and try and catfish some lobsters. And then Vincent tries to hack the Kralis ship, but he can't because he doesn't know their language and because there's too much interference that he can't get a good read. Of course, he can do some electronic warfare using his hacking skill during combat. which we have. This is our first space combat in the new system. And I wanted to make sure that we had space combat in the new system before the boss fight, or the mini boss fight, because there will be space combat relatively soon from where I'm at. Where you're at next, I think, is Nomads, and then something else. Sorry, I shouldn't look this up. This is useless information. Nomads, Fireworks, and then I don't remember the name of that one. Anyway, they have a fight and they wreck this ship. I didn't expect that. I expected it to be a pretty even fight, but it was not, and I was ashamed. But good thing it was an easy fight against the supposedly badass Kralis instead of the Behemoth, because if it was a easy fight against the Behemoth, I'd never live it down. Anyway, they disable the weapons and the engines, and the Kralis surrender. I think this is like the first time they surrender. The reason I did this is because I didn't want to kill Vanessa. Like, I felt, hey, I sent you on this mission. It'd be kind of dumb for me to just have her die. Though now that I think about that, that could have been really dramatic and traumatic. But I didn't think of it at the time. I thought, oh, well, I want them to be able to accomplish their goal. And I didn't have any Kralis NPCs statted up. So I had them surrender. And I describe what the Kralis look like. They're these crustaceans, roughly the size of like a large man. They got 4 pincer arms and then 2 sets of forward legs and like 1 set of smaller back legs and like a large tail. Lobster tail. Yeah. They do a prisoner exchange. They say, hey, we'll give you this girl. They obviously don't speak because they are Kralis and don't have human mouths and haven't bothered. They probably learned human languages, but they wouldn't bother translating their language into human languages. Anyway, yeah. They do a successful prisoner exchange. We have this nice standoff moment where the Kralis aren't sure that they should leave because what if they get double-crossed? But Val gives them a nice gesture like, hey, we're not going to shoot you. I mean, they all meet in the cargo bay and it's just full of people with guns just in case this is a last-ditch attack to take the ship. Because they are thieves and pirates and they might actually just take the ship. Which is why it's interesting that this ship is completely alien, because usually they just take human vessels. This is a Kralis vessel that they fought. Yeah, there's a joke about legal seafood. Apparently it still exists, and there's a legal battle between legal seafood and the Stellar Bagels over the rights of lox, which I thought was funny. And then Vanessa finds out that she's an aunt, that vampires exist, and she suddenly gets a job. All in about 1 minute in the medical bay. Dr. Burns patches her up. She learns about Toddy, who she figures quickly that Toddy is adopted. And then, yeah, they tell her about the vampire, Sophis, I think it was. And then Vincent convinces her not to go back to the Empire because, the Empire left her for dead. And, Saori Major and Minor didn't do anything either. The independence movement left her for dead. So she decides, you know what? I'll take a break. I'll be a full-time babysitter on the ship. Go from military personnel to babysitter. I don't know if that's a promotion. I don't mean to disparage babysitters. I'm actually trained as a babysitter, not that I ever got a job because of how I look. People don't trust me. Yeah, and then we end the flashback. And we go to the next episode. I thought it was a nice flashback. Wrapped up a beat, character arc, not a character arc, it definitely reinforced, I think, Vincent's attempt at atoning. Yeah. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm just going to keep rambling. And I don't need to do that. Anyway, if you like the show, thank you. I genuinely appreciate this. I know we have terrible audio quality, and if you have gotten this far, you are a far more patient listener than I am. I have tried to listen to some of our episodes, and they're not good. They're interesting. The stories are good, but there's so much clicking and clacking and just crosstalk, and I don't look forward to going over them in the future. I guess I can say this. I want to make a comic book, and I want to make it based off of this game. Obviously, I'd take creative license, fill in a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'd have to go over every episode. That doesn't sound very appealing anymore, having rewatched a bit of some of them. Anyway, again, thank you. You can find me at atypical_games on Twitter or atypical games on YouTube, but you're already here, so you know that. And again, thank you. I think I've said that 3 times now. Goodbye.